It is early morning, and your yard is half blue with shade. The feeder hangs quiet. The grass is wet. Then a flash of red lands on the fence, a male cardinal, bright against gray wood, turning his head toward your window. Maybe this happened after a funeral. Maybe after the house became quiet. Maybe on a day when you were thinking about someone you still reach for in your mind. Most people assume the cardinal is just passing through. But what is actually happening is far more specific. Cardinals are not random decorations. They are territorial, routine-driven birds living close to the edges of your life. Today, you will learn why a cardinal may keep appearing when you are grieving, what science can explain, and why your heart notices that bird so strongly. Welcome back to Feather in Mind. Subscribe before you leave. What you're about to learn will change the way you see that red bird at your window. Stay until the end, because the final reason is not superstition, and it's the one most people never get told. Number 1. Cardinals do not simply pass through your yard. A cardinal that keeps appearing is often not visiting by accident. It may already live around you. The Cornell Lab of Ornithology describes northern cardinals as year-round birds across much of their range. They do not migrate away in winter, and they often stay close to dense shrubs, tangled edges, feeders, and familiar cover. That matters because your yard may not be a stop on its journey. Your yard may be part of its actual home. Biologically, a cardinal survives by knowing a place. It learns where the food appears, where the safest shrubs are, where cats move, where hawks perch, and which windows reflect open sky. A red bird on your fence may look sudden to you, but to the bird, that fence may be a daily checkpoint. Its bright color makes the moment feel dramatic, but the behavior underneath is steady and local. What this means for your yard is this. The cardinal you notice during grief may not be appearing from nowhere. You may finally be noticing a neighbor who has been there all along. Number 2. Grief changes what your eyes hold on to. Your heart does not invent the cardinal, but grief can make your attention sharper around anything that feels meaningful. Psychologists studying attention have shown that the human brain does not record the world like a camera. It filters, it selects, it gives extra weight to color, movement, memory, and emotion. When you are grieving, your mind searches the environment for continuity, for something that says the world has not completely emptied. A cardinal is almost designed to catch that wounded attention. The red is strong, the shape is familiar, the crest makes the bird look expressive. And because cardinals often appear at feeders, fences, low branches, and window edges, they enter the exact places where your private moments happen. Your yard becomes the stage where memory and wildlife meet, especially when the same red shape returns again. For the birds outside your window, this means the cardinal is behaving like a cardinal, but for you, your brain may be holding on to it, because it arrives at the exact emotional doorway where grief is waiting. Number 3. Cardinals build their lives around routine. A cardinal comes back because routine is survival. Cornell Lab notes that cardinals use feeders readily, especially sunflower seeds, and they favor yards with shrubs and protective growth. That simple detail explains why one bird may seem to choose your property again and again. Food, cover, water, and safety turn ordinary backyards into living maps. Mechanically, birds remember places through repeated reward. When a feeder provides seed at the same time each day, when a hedge offers quick escape, when a quiet porch has no threat, the bird's nervous system marks those details, not with human emotion, but with practical memory. Safe place, food place, singing place, hiding place. Over days, that map grows stronger, and the bird wastes less energy guessing. This is why the cardinal may appear when you sit with coffee, when you open the curtains, or when the house is quiet after loss. Your routine and its routine may overlap. That recognition can feel like timing, even when it is habit. What this means for your yard is this: the cardinal may not be responding to your grief directly, but it may be returning to a rhythm that grief has made precious to you. Number 4. Birds can learn more about you than most people realize. A backyard bird does not need to understand your name to learn your presence. At the University of Washington, researchers led by John Marsluff showed that crows could recognize individual human faces and pass danger information to other crows. Cardinals are not crows, and we should not pretend every bird thinks the same way. But this research changed how scientists talk about bird intelligence. It proved that common birds can track individual humans with far more precision than people once believed. For a cardinal, the learning may be simpler. It may learn your shape, your timing, your door, your feeder habits, and the difference between a calm person and a sudden threat. If you move gently, refill seed, keep cats away, and let the yard stay quiet, your presence becomes part of the safe pattern. For the birds outside your window, this means you are not invisible. Your birds may not know your sorrow, but they can know your routine, and that is more intimate than most people ever realize. Number 5. The cardinal's voice is part of why it feels personal. Sometimes, the bird does not just appear. It calls. Cornell Lab says scientists have described at least 16 northern cardinal calls, and both male and female cardinals sing. Their clear whistles and sharp metallic chip notes can signal territory, warning, nest activity, contact, and movement through cover. To human ears, those sounds can feel like the yard is speaking back. The mechanism is simple but powerful. Your brain is built to detect voices, patterns, and repeated sounds. When a cardinal sings near your window after a hard morning, your mind may attach that sound to the person you miss. The bird is not speaking a human message, but the timing, the tone, and the repetition can still become emotionally real. What this means for your yard is this: when that cardinal calls, it may be defending territory or staying in contact, but your heart may hear steadiness in a season when everything else feels changed. Number 6. The meaning is not ruined by the science. This is the part most people never get told. Science does not have to take the comfort away from your cardinal. It simply changes the shape of the comfort. A cardinal appearing after loss is not proof that someone who died has turned into a bird. That is not what careful science can say. But science can say something quieter and maybe even more beautiful. It can say that a real bird shares your yard. It can say that this bird has its own memory, territory, patterns, pair bonds, songs, and daily decisions. It can say that your grieving mind is not foolish for noticing it, because grief makes the living world feel sharper. And it can say that when you pause at the window, you are participating in an actual relationship with the life outside your home. The cardinal is not replacing the person you lost. It is meeting you in the place where your love is still active. What this means for your yard is this: when a cardinal appears during grief, the most honest answer may be that a wild bird is present, your heart is open, and for one small moment, the world feels less empty. The core truth is simple. Your cardinal may not carry a message from the dead, but it can still become part of how your heart keeps loving. Tell me in the comments, has a cardinal ever appeared in your yard when you were missing someone specific? Share the moment, even if it was small, because those little sightings often stay with people for years. I read everyone. If this made you think of someone, share it with them or for them. I'll see you in the next one.